Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Krosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas,
This is America.
and my other co-host.
This is an anime.
This is a podcast that comes to you every Monday. Hey, that rhymes. And what we do, if you're not familiar with what we do, is we come to you every Monday, usually nerdy topics, sit around the table, we have some fun discussions, we bring topics to the table. Sometimes we change it up. This time, going back to good old-fashioned, old reliable. Haven't done one of those in a while. And you can find us on SoundCloud, YouTube, podcasting services of your choice. If we're on episode 78.
69.
Round
Exciting
2.
number.
Yeah.
69
plus
number.
every 9 episodes, we should be like 69 plus 10. And then make it a dirty episode.
So that's the
I
next
like
episode.
That. I like it.
69 plus 10.
How have you guys been?
Good. I've shed a lot of weight in my life. I
You look good.
quit World of Warcraft.
Hey,
Again?
quit Fortnite.
I quit Movie Pass.
Oh,
Ooh.
I need to fix mine. Movie Pass quit on us.
Lot of issues with Movie Pass. I think my last 2 months I paid obviously, but I didn't do anything with it. So $20 down the drain, just like that. But I was gonna use it to watch Mission Impossible, and this was right after the outage on Thursday. This was Friday night, but then this was also like they were reporting like Friday's working, but literally can't watch Mission Impossible with this movie because it's.
I wonder, like, if Paramount like got how much of the impact it was.
Scientology.
Yeah, well, that. But how much of an impact the Movie Pass outage may or may not have had it on
Box
Mission
office
Impossible's
sales.
box office sales? Because people are like, well, if Movie Pass isn't working, some people will be like, all right, I'll buy a ticket. Other people will be like, all right, I'm not using it.
Yeah.
And if that would have impacted, like, indirectly,
I I would agree that if anyone makes a statement that Movie Pass has increased moviegoers,
Going.
yeah, like going to the movie, like
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like that is, I see that as a true statement.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it could affect Mission Impossible, but so it had an outage like the Thursday, like it wasn't working for anyone.
Okay.
And it was only for like a few hours. No, actually, it might have been the whole day. I don't know exactly. Obviously Thursday at work, I didn't try to watch a movie. Friday, I wanted to watch a movie, and I'm looking, and like the movie theater that I go to, everything is the overcharge thing. The prime
Peak
prime-
hours?
Yeah, peak hours.
Yep.
And I'm like, 7 in the morning is not peak hour. What the
I don't
fuck?
see this bullshit.
And so I'm like, maybe other movie theaters, or maybe they're just fucking trying to charge everyone. There's one movie theater, Cinema City, which is like it's like a movie that like, or a movie theater that charges like $5 generally for a ticket, and
They're like,
but they also don't have like generally they don't have brand new movies.
Okay.
And so I looked at it, and there was only like 2 actual movie movie times in a movie that were peak hours. Everything else was like free essentially for the pass. I was like, that theater's too far. And I just like, nah. And then they sent like an email saying like, we apologize, like
saw
blah
that
blah.
email.
And I'm like, I'm reading them. They're like, pretty much they're going to continue doing what they're doing.
well, they said they're now upping the charge.
Yeah, they're
For
upping the
15.
charge.
And the first 2 weeks, for now at least, for all new
Yeah,
movies,
like
Mission
all brand new
Impossible.
movies. And I was like, at this point, this defeats the purpose. Like, I just want to watch brand new movies.
Yeah, I'm not paying to wait.
So
for
I'm
you to do.
probably gonna do AMC now.
I think I mean, until I see something reliable. Like I waited on Movie Pass. People had tried it. You had tried it.
Mhm.
Other people I knew had tried it. I was like, okay, enough people have been trying this. I'll try it. I'm not yet sure on the AMC thing. I don't always go to the AMC. My
Yeah.
preferred one is another one, but I like the AMC one near me. It's a nice one.
Yeah, like the one. So
But I'm not deterred from seeing movies anymore. It's like I know a lot of people are like, I'm gonna go out of my way to see more
the
movies.
thing
because
is,
of
like
the past.
doing the math. Like there's Hotel Transylvania 3 that I want to watch. Mission Impossible. There's
Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans Go. I mean, that's a movie that like because I had Movie Pass, I'd watch it.
Oh, okay.
Without it, it's like I don't care.
You were on the fence.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's like 2 more, but
Winnie
that's
the
like
Pooh.
that's like $10, like or like at least $12.
If you go to the 11 a.m. showing, it's $6.
Yeah. Same thing with my like. If I go to obviously like the,
They have
but
economy now.
it's just like, it was $10 a month. I was.
Hey, you lived it. I went in with the expectation like this will not last.
I got it. I lived that thoroughly.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
I
You got your money's worth.
I got way more than that, dude.
The stock price took a dive.
My friend was like, he bought like many shares, and then he's like, they split all my shares, and then but it was cheap. It was like 10 cents or something.
Okay.
And then they split it, so they were worth more, but there was like a fraction of the amount he bought.
Did you hear what Elon Musk said? Some guy tweeted him, "How would you save MoviePass?" I can't. He's like, I can't. I want to be able to save it. It's like,
I'd run it off
It's a sinking ship, dude.
It could possibly be salvageable, but I feel like a lot of people are doing what I'm doing, jumping ship at this point. Like, the biggest thing was they weren't hindering me from watching new movies
or putting like complex.
Honestly, I would have been okay with that
Mm-hmm.
as long as they didn't hinder me from watching new movies. At this point, they're like, for the first 2 weeks of a brand new movie, you can't watch it. I'm like, that defeats the purpose. I can't. That's literally the reason why
I didn't like the inconsistency. It's like, okay, well, this time on this day, peak hour charge. This time on the other day, at a different theater. Who knows? Like, it became like, I don't know
convenience for me would have been fine with peak hours. Like, as long as I can watch it, I don't care for peak hours. I don't care.
If it was
like,
consistently peak hours, I would have been fine. But not knowing what it's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go see this movie at the same time at the same theater on a certain day, no peak hour. I'm like, I go another day, peak hour. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I need to understand what this is.
For me, like, honestly, seeing that, it was like, for me, it was like an additional $3. Like, I was literally only paying $3 to watch a movie because $10 a month, that was already a part of the subscription. So I was just like, $3 for the movie? Perfect, you know?
Okay.
But the biggest thing, again, is hindering me from watching
100%.
new movies. So I was like, I'm sorry. I'm
so you
done.
cut that. World of Warcraft, what else?
Well, yeah, World of Warcraft, that's funny because, like, I was playing that thing, like, I would literally go home after work, 5-6 hours, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, 5-6 hours, go to sleep, go to work. I got, dude, everything. So there's a lot of things you can do in the game, and they had
it's
a lot
about to come out with the new.
It literally. So the game, that expansion officially launches like August 12. I don't know. It's sometime in August. It's soon. Yeah, it's very soon.
Welcome back.
But they call what's called like the pre-patch. Yeah. Like, a lot of the content that's going to be available is already like kind of like being shown and available to people.
Like quality of life stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the biggest ones is part of how this happens is shit happens in the game.
Yeah.
And I think this week on Tuesday was when all these events happened, essentially, which is what's going to lead into the new expansion. So they have like, not prerequisites, but they have things that you're like, make sure you do these things before, like, you know, the expansion fully releases, because it will no longer be available. I did all of that, and I did it in like the time limit that they gave you was long, but I like jumped in like 2 weeks before like everything was about to happen. I got the whole shit done, and
someone's ready for August 12th.
And I was so like, I bought the expansion, which is the only way I could do all the prerequisite stuff. And then I also bought, like, I also started paying $15 a month to continue to play the game. And the reason I got into it was a coworker. He was just talking to me about it, but I wasn't playing with him. Like, I was doing like my own thing because I needed to finish these prerequisites.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, I literally, like, I'm at work, and my first thought's like, what am I like? If I get home and I log in, I should do this first. I should do that first. I'm like, this is fucking bad. This is so bad. So
Zach Galifianakis.
I went home. Or this was actually right after Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I got home. I was dead tired. My first thought was like, I should do these things. And I was like, this is so bad. I was like, you know what? Fuck this thing. Turn on my computer, opened up a ticket, and I was like, I need a refund on this game. And they had some prerequisites. They were like, you cannot, so that when you buy the expansion, it gives you a token that allows you to boost a character from 0 or like starting a new character to 110, which is, at the moment, is the max level.
Right.
It's going to increase to 120, I believe.
Okay.
I did not use that token yet. I actually manually leveled an opposition faction because I've never had the other
The
faction.
opposing faction.
I maxed it out just so I can do some of the other prerequisites that involve you having a max other faction
So
character.
you maxed that out from scratch?
No, I had
You
already
had
been
something.
like level 90.
Okay.
I
okay.
was like,
So,
but I
okay.
finished them off, which was still like it's.
no, it's
a lot of
good.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
So I did all that, and like one of the biggest things it says is like if you unlock all of the factions, like the extra factions, because they're releasing new classes essentially,
Okay.
not factions. You can no longer be refunded for the expansion because you've unlocked this content. Like, there's why would we? I finished all that shit, and so I literally just sent it like a ticket to the people, and I was just like, I'm losing my life playing this game. Like, I can't balance life or whatever. And the guy's like, they always do like quirky stuff. He's like, I will be tanking your ticket today, which is like, tanking is
a
support thing. And he's like, I understand, blah 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 blah. He's like, I'll give you a full refund. You know, like,
That's really cool.
You know, I hope we can see you again or whatever. And I was like, yes.
You're like, yes. You
I
will.
uninstalled it. Haven't touched that shit since. But like
he's
all
like,
this new
he'll be
information,
back.
all this, all
may
this
have
new
won this one.
information, all this new information about the expansion. It's like, fuck, I want to get into it again. But it's just, I know that I'm gonna get in that mindset of like every day, because there's always something to do, and it's just like I should
Believe me, I know way too well. Too well.
The thing is, like, what sucks is like, I would love to play it, but I can't. It's on or off, and I wish it was like middle, but I can't. Yeah, it's 0 or 11, and I'm gonna choose 0. What else did I do? I haven't really touched Hollow Knight, which I want to, but that stage
Challenge?
the
Oh,
challenge.
I was about to say you had another glitch.
No. But I've been playing Mega Man, and
Collection 1.
yeah, Collection 1. So Mega Man X specifically is the one I've been playing. Beat all the villains that gives you, and now I'm on the Sigma stage, and I got completely obliterated,
Get
dude.
the Hadouken. It
So
kills him in one shot.
I tried to, but it's still not available. So I think I'm still missing. You have to have everything. You have to have all the containers. All the
Right,
heart containers.
right.
I might be missing one because
you have
I
to do
did.
this stage 3 times and you get it.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's
without
why.
getting hit. It's not hard. It's not hard.
Oh shit.
It's not hard to get. And you don't have to have everything.
I thought I read a guide and it said you had to have everything, but it wasn't there when I tried. I was like, whatever, I'll just continue. And fuck, dude. So there's a point where you get to like just like an empty, like you jump and you die, but there's platforms and they keep moving. But as they come out, there's villains that fly directly to you, like a magnetized fly, and so you jump on a platform, he hits you midair, and you bounce back a little bit. So just like platform's gone, fuck. And so I lost like almost all my life on those platforms. I was like, fuck, dude, I gotta like learn to like hold a blast and midair jump, shoot it, and then land so it kills the thing as it comes out. But I haven't gotten used to it. But I finally got to the end, and what was it? Oh, no, I didn't lose all my health there. So first of all, I had a shit ton of lives because I just kept finding them like doing all the missions without dying.
Okay.
And then there's a mini boss before you actually get to Sigma, and it's a spider.
Okay.
It like the spider. It's all these pulls on the stage, and when the spider appears, it has links to the pulls.
Okay.
And literally, like every time it hits a link, it moves in that direction. So you have to like it happens immediately. Like it comes out, all the links come out, and then it starts moving. So you have to see the links, figure out where it's gonna land, and obviously not be in that position or you'll get hit because he falls on you.
Right.
And so I'm over here holding a charge. I'm like, okay, he's gonna land over here probably. And I come over here, right to me, and I'm like, fuck, dude, it kept happening. I can't figure out. I'm not fast enough to see where he's gonna like, land on. And then after a while, like it was just a spider. He starts like shooting out baby spiders. I'm like, fuck, dude. I lost everything there, and you die, you restart the whole stage over again, and now I don't have like the 16 lives I had. I have 2 lives. So if I die twice, I start all over again. Die twice, start all over again. Start twice, all over. Not on all the bosses, just on that one stage.
Okay. Still though, that's
I have to kill the spider at least in one health, like that's or one life, like.
That's when the pressure's on.
And so that defeated me, and I haven't touched it since. Just like Hollow Knight, dude.
Humbling. It's a lot of platformers out right now. Like
Yeah.
Dead Cells out on Switch. Hollow Knight has been out. Chat.
There's
Chasm?
Salt and
Salt and Sanctuary is
Pepper.
like a Salt and Sanctuary is like a Dark Souls style like
Ooh.
vibe to it, but it's a side scroller.
yeah, I've gotten really like when I first
There's a
bought
few
my,
other ones.
my Switch, didn't touch that shit. Obviously, Breath of the Wild was a big. That's the I played the shit out of that game twice. Wii
Did you
U.
ever play
and Switch.
Mario Odyssey.
I finally touched it like on the train, right? But I have my sister's about. My sister I think beat it.
Bro.
So she beat it, and then she says other things happen.
Yeah.
So I might have to continue on.
Yeah, there's more.
Okay. So yeah, she's at
Beating
that
it
point.
is like the beginning of
Okay.
like the bigger fun.
So yeah, so she's beaten it.
It's like
so
you
there's-
beating Zelda, and there's like, oh, I still have many shrines to get.
Oh.
That's like the
Well,
bread
she
and butter
says
of it.
that the princess gets taken again.
That's- yes and no,
Okay, I don't know.
but it's enough to keep you going. Like you haven't.
So yeah, she beat it. I
Cool.
haven't even.
Well, you have that to
Uh,
look forward to someday.
yeah, I was at work and I guess she was gonna go do like a thing with my mom to go to a meeting, and she's like, "Can I take your Switch?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, dude." And I think she beat it then. But yeah, when I didn't touch it, and now it's like, dude, perfect for indie games, like perfect.
Yes.
Like I can pick it up, take it wherever I want to, small stuff like that. So I'm excited, and I've been looking like towards more content. So I'm thinking about picking up that Salt and
Sanctuary?
Pepper one.
Yes.
What else? There was something else too.
Fortnite.
Fork knife? Nah, I haven't been playing that game. I don't remember. I
think
should
that's a
write-
lot.
I should write this stuff down. But yeah, biggest thing is actually
World
I
of
don't know what the
Warcraft?
biggest thing is.
World of
Quitting
Warcraft.
World of Warcraft, quitting Movie Pass that I've had for
Shocking episode this week, guys. Shocking.
It would have been. You know what would have been the cherry on top?
watching Stranger Things.
Season 2. That would all this weight, but then you could have done that.
I've watched like
I
3
don't care.
Chinese films.
Ooh.
Like one of them had Jackie Chan in it. It was
Is the-
Kung Fu Yoga.
When is the next Miyazaki?
Oh, I watched that one too.
Which one?
It's not Miyazaki. I believe it is someone who like worked on a lot of Miyazaki
what was
films.
the movie though?
'Cause
I remember one-
Mary and the Witch's Flower.
Was that the one in the Fathom? Because you were doing the Fathom event.
Oh, that's the 12th,
so
the
last
13th and the 14th is Graves of the Fireflies. I did not. I missed the previous one,
oh,
which was one I watched, and then I missed the one before that as well.
what? No, you saw the one before.
Was it?
Yeah, I remember you talked about it.
So I know that one that I missed was Graves of the Fireflies.
You missed Grave of the
I
Fathom?
missed that
Oh
one
my god.
on
What the
in
f-
theaters. Oh wait, maybe that's the one that's out for Grave. I don't know. I'm mixed with
Stranger
that.
Things
It's okay.
season 2. Grave of the
But now that
Fireflies.
so originally I didn't want to watch it because I was like, I can't use my movie pass. I waste some money. I gotta pay a
the
full
one
$15.
that you had to watch.
I
Drop
know.
the ball. I have it. I can
It
lend
might
you.
be. It might be next. That might
Okay.
be the one on the 12th. I don't know. I can't.
Well,
remember.
whether or not you see it, I'll put it on the flash. drive.
Believe it or not.
Jane, what have you been up to?
Fortnite. We're learning.
Folk.
The old architect.
We're learning how to build,
What's-
but we're
what's-
slow.
You get any victories?
Couple,
Couple
not solo.
Duos.
duos?
Duos.
Just with your buddy?
Duos. I figured out how to play. So here's the secret.
Top tips.
This is no.
Run
I
away.
haven't tried it yet. Have your back to the water. That's the tip. So you always have
Get him from the water.
Always have the force field really close to you, like in the back, because you don't
Okay.
want to get. P.S. I don't want to say the word. Pinched. There's another word for it.
Oh, okay.
Kitty
sandwich.
kitty sandwiched. Kitty
Sandwich.
sandwich.
Okay.
So always have your back to the wall. I'm gonna try it out this Friday night Fortnite. GTA Vice City, we're chipping away 2%. 2%.
I feel like it's less.
I
than
feel
that,
like
man.
you're in a coal mine and you have like a little like
Shawshank Redemption.
keychain, like
The Shawshank Redemption.
yeah,
man.
the little thing he's digging.
couple
yeah,
years.
2% every day. I was stuck on a mission for 2 days, and
And then it glitched out and you got lucky.
no. But I have words of encouragement, people, because you can actually use cheats to get 100%. I'm trying not to do that. And people in the chat room was like, dude, you did San Andreas, you can do this without cheats. So
the
I was like-
supportive.
So I was like, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
Spirit
dude.
Bomb crew.
You're
Let's go.
absolutely right. So, and then chipping away at Harry Potter, I'm going to try to finish it this weekend.
Believe it or
It's
not.
really good. It's like, unlike the other books, this one's like super action packed. Shit just happens and happens
lot
and
of shit
happens
happens
and
now.
happens.
Just finish it on your Kindle, dude.
There's like 3, 4, 5 deaths. Like I was like, God damn,
Just
man.
getting started, bro.
Okay, so
She's about to go J.R. Martin on you.
where I'm at right now, I don't know any more spoilers. So there was a death
Ooh.
that I knew, and now I don't know anything going in from this one. But I'm afraid more people are gonna die.
So I'm confident we can talk spoilers on this. What is the lesson that happened? Like, talk to us.
Everything.
Somebody died, and
Go say it.
they buried him near the beach.
Who?
They buried him near the beach.
But who
They
died?
buried him in Bill and LaFleur's house.
So Bill and Ted's excellent
Bill
adventure.
and
Death.
LaFleur.
That's who went.
Who died? He's asking you for the name.
It's a spoiler, dude.
Just
It's
say
a
it.
big.
How old is this fucking book?
Dobby died.
Oh, okay.
So I'm towards the end.
So you knew about that one.
I knew about that.
Dobby is so.
I knew Dobby and Dumbledore died from Big Bang Theory. Thank you, Sheldon. He like mentions it. He's like, Dobby and Dumbledore dies. I was watching it. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
It's fucking Sheldon.
I was
Is
like-
the one who spoiled.
You have given Dobby a shock.
What did you think of Dobby's?
Dude, you know, I've been going to all these Harry Potter events. I've been dodging all these like spoilers. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how you managed to do that.
But it still got spoiled for you at an event.
what?
Someone was talking in line, and you're just like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, his owl.
Well, that is all.
dies. What the? Huge spoiler, dude.
I don't know.
I'm just joking.
His owl dies.
Okay.
And I heard that in line. I was like, oh!
Messed
So-
up.
With Dobby, is he like very very powerful? Like
oh, fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't showcase it, but dude,
It's like a genie. It's like power, but
that's
like
the
constrained.
thing. Yeah. That's the thing. Like that. I kind of like they do a good job portraying in the movie.
I fucking hated him.
does he die the same way in the movie as in the book?
I
Like the
didn't-
way he dies in the book, I was like, whoa, that was pretty crazy, dude. I was like, that was.
I feel
pretty
like
nuts.
someone throws like a razor and he's like,
That's exactly how he died.
Dobby has gotten chopped in half.
It was. I thought it got its moment in the movies. The thing I have issues with the two-parter because they in the movies Deathly Hallows is 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
The way part 1 was advertised, the commercials, the teasers, the trailers, everything showed a lot of what happens in part 2. And I'm like,
shit.
what the fuck? Like, that was so misleading. Like, it wasn't just like a little scene like that happens sometimes where you're like, that was in the trailer, but that little bit didn't make it. It was big stuff. And I
So
was like,
there's a scene because I haven't watched them, but there's a scene I saw that like in the trailer or whatever where 2 wands fight.
Okay.
Does that happen in the first one? It's just like
I don't
crazy, like
not,
it's hitting and like it's melting.
the
whatever
first
the hell
one
it
is like the quietest.
To be
the
continued.
calm
it-
before the storm.
Yeah, it was very much that, but I would have been fine. I went back and rewatched it later.
Yeah.
Kitty and I went through and rewatched.
I'm pretty
all
sure
of them.
I'm past the first. How does it end? The first movie. The
You've
Deathly
been to a grave.
Hallows. Yes.
That's where it ends.
Okay.
And I was like, this? I have to wait a fucking year for. God damn it! I was pissed in the theaters. But
Did they meet Bathilda with Bagshot? Because that happens right after the grave.
I don't remember. That's a name that like I have to see the face to remember. I don't remember 100%. But a lot of the build, like the plot points and the mystery and stuff, is in the first film. In the second film, it's like all out.
In the end, do they see the graves or no?
I'm not gonna say anything
Yeah, that's. I mean, why?
all of a sudden now it's spoilers.
because you haven't finished.
But they are. I'm pretty sure I'm past that point.
Which wait, see what?
His parents' graves. I'm
I
pretty sure
don't
they
know if that was in the movie.
would.
I could be
Believe it
wrong.
or
I
not.
could be wrong. It also might be in like a deleted scene thing. My
But-
memory's not serving me correctly.
It's action packed. Like it's crazy. Like shit is just happening. And
No, there's good like my favorite thing in the movies was it's in the book where Dumbledore and Voldemort face for the first time in the Ministry of Magic. That scene in the theaters, I was like, this is fucking like wizards.
Obi-Wan versus
This is-
Darth Vader.
This is like Kamea, like the DBZ fights of wizards and shit. And the way they did it, I went like watching it again. There wasn't like spell like I'm gonna say some shit. It was just like like they're doing like all sorts of like
Kung fu.
yeah, like ninjutsu,
kata.
kata, like Dragon Ball Z. I was like,
So
Fuck.
it wasn't like abracadabra.
well, like whenever the kids do it, it's just like disarming. Like
Expelliarmus. Expelliarmus.
yeah, I want it to be like my vision is if they do spin-offs in this world, like outside of the Fantastic Beasts, I want to see like Tommy Gun style. Like there's like a guy that's like gun katas but with wands. He's like dual wanding. He's like I'm special.
I think that's
like
really
not
neat.
like Darth Maul style. But
I don't
like,
know how the book does it, but I think it's neat. Like the way you're explaining it, it shows the difference between a student and once someone's
100%.
mastered it. Where like
I just wasn't visually entertained.
yeah, a
by
student
it.
has to like physically, verbally say something for like that shit to come out.
Well, even then,
And
it was not so much that it was just like the effect. Like when the kids shot spells at everyone else, you would just see little poofs, like bullet shots, and I was like, meanwhile, Dumbledore and everyone are using like the most
Lasers,
visually like
fucking-
multicolored, crazy ass shit. It's like playing Diablo, and you got like the basic bitch spells, and then you got the fucking like mini like fireworks show.
mini
going on.
nukes.
Yeah, like that was the difference, and I understand what you're saying. Like they're amateur and it illustrates that, but I would have liked if like each one learned one cool like I don't know.
One thing I like about it, unpredictable, dude. Like fuck, I'm still trying to figure out the whole Snape situation. I'm like, I think I have it figured out, but I don't know why he did it. That's the one thing that's
The reason?
Yeah, that's the reason.
You'll find out soon. We
I
can
don't-
talk about it next time.
Mm.
Harry Potter?
But yeah,
Um,
I don't think
enjoying,
you'll finish
cool.
it. By then.
enjoying it.
Believe it or not.
So, what have I been up to? I've been going down a similar path as you, except not with World of Warcraft, with Destiny, and I'm embracing it. I'm not like I feel like the decision you made, were like this is bad. I was like,
I forget. I failed to mention that I played like one whole day. I played
I saw.
Destiny. Like you didn't even invite me to anything. What the fuck is your problem?
I saw what like I was on playing like watching TV, and I was like, oh, he's playing. I wonder if we'll talk about it on Thursday. Well, what light are you? See, I'm reluctant.
352.
Okay,
What are you?
370.
Oh, I'll beat you.
I'm
This
probably fun
This
tonight.
weekend.
See, the sickness is back.
I know.
I'm like, I was
Well,
reluctant.
no, I just want to get to your level so we can play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently,
The
you just want to
Warcraft
avoid
goes
me.
down, the Destiny goes.
Real quick, the Nightfall.
Yeah.
Is it really only light level 240 required?
270. Or yeah, 240. Yeah.
Yet the heroic is fucking 350.
The heroic strikes,
God damn.
but prestige
I was getting
Nightfall is
wrecked.
not hard.
Oh, okay.
Like-
but it still gives you the best gear if you do it
No.
that one time a week, no?
Well, it gives you the powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
an
I'm saying.
easy
yeah.
way to get it because they don't do modifiers on it anymore. Whereas
Heroics has fucking
heroic has,
modifiers.
and it's like every day. So like every day, there's like 3 modifiers.
It's
There's,
every
like,
day, bro.
Every day, bro. Every day for the strikes, which are like little missions you do, and just you keep doing them for like.
They
basic
used to be
rewards.
the easier ones. Now
Yeah.
they're fucking
Now they've made it where like Mondays, these are the 3 modifiers. Tuesdays, no matter what the strike you get into, these are the. So people are like, I don't do strikes on Mondays, guys. Sorry. Like it's blackout, so no radars. It's brawlers, so like a little like minion.
that's when I
will
did it.
insta kill
I did
you.
like 6 fucking strikes.
No, I'm
I was
just
trying to
saying
get
like
gear.
whatever the combinations are. Some people avoid certain days. Some people like no. This is the day cakewalk. Like, and yeah. So strikes are ridiculously hard, but the rewards aren't always like it's still they're tweaking it. I'm playing a fuck ton of that, and they just did this whole thing where it's sort of like World of Warcraft. They're like content is coming out right after Labor Day weekend, and all of August you can earn the shirt for this event. Like you did the moments of triumph, like they've always done it. And I'm like, you hit hook, sync, reel, like. And my original thing was like, I want to do this on PC and PS4 because I'm fucking batshit. But now I'm after the amount of time I put into just PS4 right now, I'm like, I do not want to do this again on PC. I do not.
But it'd be so much smoother.
But no one's played. See, the thing, this is my struggle, is that it plays better, and I'm have a much easier time.
Can you
but
invite me in your clan so I can at least get the weekly,
Yeah, I can
clan?
probably- yeah. I didn't know if you were playing it. I don't want to enable you.
I don't want to quit, Guild Hall Hunters or Guild Hall.
You're the founder now.
I know, that's why. Dude. I got to give it to someone else, but no one's playing that game.
Give it to Steve.
Believe it or not.
Got you.
Steve's a good guy. Yeah, so I've been working towards it, and it was like you get the. I've kept like in the beginning of Destiny 2, they have you wearing like damaged armor, and it's like basic, and as soon as you get some armor you replace it. But I kept it. I was like, I don't know, maybe they'll do something with it later. Or for people that kept it, they'll give you like a nice little like, here's this. And the thing is, you get special armor for this event to celebrate the first year of Destiny, and they give you that armor set, the first version of it, and they're like, you have to wear all of this armor, and each piece of it requires you to do a certain thing, like 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
So like the helmet requires the Warlock helmet requires 3 things: do a mission, get X number of kills doing this, get X number of kills doing that. The chest requires 3 other things. Each of them, and you then take that full armor set and you can upgrade it to like it's repaired now, and that is at a static like 340 light. And then once you do all the requirements at that light, you get 400, which is the new cap. 400 light is the new power level. And the only way to get to 400 armor is by this set, and you can't infuse it. So getting from green to blue, and now from blue to purple, green to blue was a bitch, because you're wearing this shitty-ass armor, and you're doing a lot of the grindy stuff, which is fine. But there was one piece where it was like, get 30 kills with your super, the ultimate, in Crucible. And Crucible, you get like super once, maybe twice in a thing. And so the anxiety of like, shit, I have my super. Don't mess up. Don't whiff it. Don't whiff it. And I threw it, and there was a guy, and I was like, I'll just get this one. And I threw it, and there was a bar, and it hit the bar, and it didn't get past the thing. I was like, motherfucker. I was like, game, quit. Log back in. Yeah. So I've been like, every night I've been playing, like, as soon as I get home, I'm just, gotta get back. I'm like, just hook it up.
Gotta get that.
I went to sleep one night, and I still in my head heard a certain gun sound. I was like,
Zavala.
No, the Graviton, the purple one that makes like the bass sound.
I just think it was Zavala, because every time you do Crucible, you hear Zavala like.
No, Shax is who you hear.
Oh,
amazing gun.
Yeah.
And then the coworkers that I play with, he's same way. He's like, dude, I get to work, and I'm like, dude, last night was so crazy. Blah, blah. And then I'm at work, and I'm like, all right, if I crunch the numbers to get that shirt, I need 30 points. The fastest way to get 30 points is if I do this activity first. That'll give me points for this other activity at the same time. And I'm just like Zach Galifianakis. And then I get home and I don't follow my plans. I'm like, all right, I should do this, and this. And I do one of them, and then my friend is like, hey, we're doing the raid. I'm like, I want to do it, but it's not as priority right now for me. But I was like, all right, fine. So there's like the main raid, which I still haven't done, the one you've done. And then there's the 2 raid layers.
I haven't done those 2.
One of them is fucking easy now. We did it in an hour, like cakewalk. So I would be down to.
God, that's still a long time.
It goes. It's just like you do 2 jumping puzzles.
I know, but
and then there's the encounter, and that
being on
like,
the outside of playing a video game, like anyone being like, you played a game for 1 hour straight, like, and not even that.
Okay,
like,
you can't say that because you just
no, I know, but I mean that just like. It's still like someone outside, like that doesn't play video games. Essentially,
hour isn't much.
It's a lot.
Hour?
It's a lot.
like that's not a lot.
That's a lot.
In a day, like someone on their phone plays an hour.
That's
of
a lot.
In the
And the
toilet.
People watch
that's-
TV shows 5 hours.
That's
in a
coming
row.
from a guy that plays like 8 hours of a video game.
Okay.
In a row. In
Anyway,
one
this
sitting.
is beside the point. So we do that raid. I was like, wow. I was like, normally when we raid, someone's like, man, I'm like taking care of a kid, or understandable things
they
like
quit.
in their life.
I gotta pee.
Yeah, as me. And then
Get a
we like
cup.
hit like no snags, and we did it. And they're like, let's do the other one. I'm like, I want to go back. I'm like, all right, let's do the other one. Let's do it. Like, I want to learn it. I
And
should
that
learn
one
it. I
took a
gotta
lot
work.
longer.
It didn't. So we did the first 2 parts, which is just as easy. It's
Mhm.
like jumping stuff. But then the boss fight, it's the newest one. It is fucking involved, and I'm like, it's late. I don't have the energy to like comprehend any of this. I gotta go. So I'm at that point with that. I got the blue armor. I gotta just grind out a bunch of shit to get the purple, and then if I do that, I'll have enough for the shirt. But now, the thing is like get all the points. Like you have to get 400 points, and they have like do.
Is that to do the armor up to 400?
No. So getting the armor to 400 is one of the points.
Oh,
it's
fuck.
it's 50 points, which
Yeah.
is a lot of points.
But you only need 30.
No. I need 130. So if I'm gonna do the armor one because I'm
No,
on
I'm
my
sorry.
way-
How many points do you need to get the shirt?
130.
Oh shit, never mind. Okay.
But if I do the armor, which I want to do, and one other thing, I'll be there.
okay.
Now, if I want to get complete, like to 400 points, I have to do a bunch of other grindier stuff. And the final thing, like that gets 400 points, and I get all these other things. But the final thing that's like icing on the cake is if you get that full armor from green, blue to purple for all three characters.
Phew.
And I have 2 characters right now that are past the story, which is the annoying part. If I want to do this, I have to go back to the hunter that I have and I've not played with, and I have to level them up together to everything, and then start this stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I have it in
I
me.
think I've done for sure. Obviously, my hunter and my wizard. I think my titan. I don't know if this is part of the thing. I haven't done any of like the 2
DLC?
expansion.
As long as you do it with one of the whole point is just to get him to the light that I need him to be
Oh, what's
to get that armor. Like
what's
I don't
the light you need to be to get the beginning armor? 340?
No, because the green armor is like 240. Like
Oh.
you wear that full set, you're 240.
Oh, that guy's been
Yeah.
like.
You
They were
can-
all 300 at some point.
Yeah,
Like
but as long as you're through the campaign, you
Okay.
can do all the activities
Okay.
related to the armor. But one character has to have been
yeah.
able to do that.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm debating whether or not I'll have the time to do 3.
Is this all like? Do you see the whole thing you've done on the app, or
Yeah.
does the game
yeah,
show it to
it
you
tells
as
you
well?
current progress. It's if you go to the app.
Does the game have it too, or no?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in the game. When was this?
Well, you have
implemented?
to start the progress. Like there's a thing at the tower where there's like a statue now.
Fuck! I completely missed it then.
It was right in the middle of the tower.
I missed it.
Anyway, so working on that. That's like all my gaming time, and I want to get it done. This like I'm putting more urgency on it now because I don't want to play it the whole month. I don't
Yeah.
have time to play it the whole month. So the sooner I can get the shirt, the more I'll be at ease. Like that's my only goal right now is just get the shirt. And then Katie and I have been watching Veep on HBO.
Tony Hill.
He is fucking hilarious. And there's a guy who he's like a redhead, like older guy. If you see him, you'll recognize him. He I guess has been on record in interviews where he's like, his character is so outrageous. He'll say things like, you know, what a woman did. Like he says like things that are like misogynistic and all this other stuff. And he's like, when Trump became president, like writing my character to be ridiculous became harder
wow.
because my friend told me this. Yeah, one of my friends, Sam, and I was like, I believe it because I've been watching it. I'm like, yeah, this would start feeling more real the more relevant it gets. But we're still like before that in the show. But it's a fun show. It's like got a good cast. I can't watch more than like 3 at a time or so. Like the humor's good. Like they're talking about like one of the guys is like in the office like, man, these guys are fucking. This is like math prison. It's like they rape you with numbers. And I just fucking like the way he says it, the delivery and everything is cracks me up. So yeah, I'm gonna see Mission Impossible this weekend. I'm excited. I got an iPad. I've been like using it mostly for like comic. I've been using it partially for comics. I have all the I have my physical issues and
Yeah.
trades, but I wanted like for the bulk of my library, like my Invincible run, I have that all on Comixology, so I wanted to like read it and then use it as sort of a Kindle as well, just like a consolidated.
Saga's taking a break.
Saga, I've been reading. Actually, I've been
It's
catching
take-
up because I heard that they're doing the sabbatical.
That's crazy.
I think it's cool because they're at a point where like I feel like he's doing something different, and I want to see where that goes. I'm still like 4 or 5 issues behind, but I'm excited about like what they've been doing and like reading it again. It's good stuff. And then yeah, the funny thing is you would usually be on my PC and I'd have one screen be Twitch or something while I play on the other screen. Now that I have the iPad, I'm sitting on my couch and I've just got Twitch up on it, and I'm just like playing, and I'm like, it's like, so yeah, it's been fun. And then PAX, we got our passes.
Oh yeah, I can go.
Yeah.
Can
We-
you
you
cancel?
took
the,
us on a-
can you cancel the plane ticket?
No, it's already canceled. Cancel it. We're taking the train.
Believe it or not.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. We'll have some more news on that.
We're gonna try to battle someone in Tetris. I'm coming for you. You're joining too, right?
I think so.
Tony? All right, cool.
Tag team. You guys want to get in topics?
Let's do it.
You want to start?
So there was a opinion article op-ed that came out that suggested that Amazon should replace school, or not school, just libraries in general, public libraries. Thoughts, pros and cons for Amazon.
Off
to
the
take
bat,
over.
though, I think it's a bad idea, but I was not like completely offended like some people were. They were just like, "How dare you?
Could have been like
How
I feel like we're in an outrageous like,
dare you?"
high what's it called? Super sensitive sort of online environment.
And the thing is, like, I feel like
Well, let him finish the.
go for it.
No, this is one your opinion, pros and cons of should they or should they not? Should we go down that route or not?
Okay. Silence.
Believe it or not. No, so I just like to preface, like, I generally don't show a lot of emotion. So when something like this is like, I do in my head think like, wow, that's crazy, like that I wouldn't, like, that's just a bad thought. But I'm not, I don't overly, I mean, I do sometimes overly react, but with this, it was just like, for me, it's like, it is a really extremely bad idea, but
To have Amazon take over.
yeah, but I still like to, like, even though I think it's a complete negative, I still like to debate, like,
Yeah, I
certain
think
things.
there's points to argue.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
You're
exactly.
you're saying it's a bad idea for Amazon to do this.
For Amazon to do this, yeah.
and you
Well,
believe the
and
library
again,
should stay.
like, what we should elaborate on is this was an article and this was someone's opinion,
right,
but it sparked debate
Yeah.
that it's a possibility that
Well-
Amazon could create its own libraries and completely remove.
It's sort of like what they're doing with like grocery stores. They're like, we're gonna buy them, or like they were doing some. No, they were bookstores, I should say.
Mhm.
Like the book, like Barnes and Nobles and the small mom and pop shops. They're gonna buy them all, close them down, and then start their own physical bookstores. This is just now. How does that pertain to libraries? And I agree. I think that op-ed, the point of it was like it's a very extreme one direction, and there's probably a lot of people in the middle where they're like how I'm with comics. It's like, all right, space versus physical, like the feeling of this of a book, and so they're debating those points of like, do you want to go digital? Do you want to
Mhm.
go physical? Now it's more like this subject, which is I think broader than just physical versus digital. I think they're wanting to do physical libraries, but
Mhm.
Amazon branded. Is that
Mhm.
true? Okay, so
So yeah, I don't think it's a good, like, I do feel like public libraries have a lot to offer, and this is not just regarding books themselves.
Right.
Like, there's public services they offer. They offer free internet, or like an access to internet
Mhm.
for people like
computers.
that. Yeah, and it offers like classes or like people to help with getting jobs and stuff like that. And also like the access to computers to be able to like apply, because a lot of jobs are digital. Like, it's like, McDonald's, like, apply online. It's like, I don't have internet access,
Well, not having internet access is one thing, but not having a computer is another thing
Mhm,
altogether. And that they have both.
Yeah,
Like a lot of places have internet. but-
Jang has a viewer who watches through public libraries.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Really?
crazy.
Yeah.
I think the guy messes around. I think
mean,
he's
it
a
could be-
troll.
It could also be like a university library, very much. I remember in college. You're doing the Destiny.
This whole time I've been trying.
Yeah,
'cause I
so
don't know.
you're there.
100.
Yeah. So
out of 400.
You look at all this activities, and then you go to this tab, and there's this tab.
Treasure Hunter. Ooh.
Yeah. So that's that.
Ooh. All right. So yeah. There's events that they do like huge, like not huge reading events, but like reading events for kids and just these.
Allora.
Thank you. Allora. They offer not just books, but they offer video games now, movies, they offer music, and these are all rented, and they've gone digital, which is insane to me. Like, you guys were talking about it at Comic-Con, because San Diego has a huge online selection.
Yeah.
San Diego's library,
I
essentially.
know the Irvine one does too.
And at Comic-Con, they were they literally had their own booth, and they're like, sign up and you get this special library card that has Harry Potter on it. Like, I mean, it was like a Harry Potter theme. It was someone flying on a broom.
Oh, cool.
And not necessarily Harry Potter, but it was a Harry Potter theme. And Jang signed up. He doesn't necessarily live in San Diego, but he was like, does this give me access to your online library? And they're like, yes. And that includes comic books too. And I was like, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's...
I know. I mean, Kindle is an Amazon product, but they also have access to like all these libraries.
And then like Amazon being a business, I don't feel like they would offer stuff like this. They would simply.
They do. Well, I mean, they work in tandem with libraries, so they have it where it's like the American library.
Mm-hmm.
You can link your Kindle, which is an Amazon product, to the United States national library, and they have access to maybe not as specific of things as like your local, but they have it. You can use it to then like if you want to link to any online library database, you can.
I apologize. We had just finished talking about the digital stuff. I was referencing events, public events that they like internet for people, computers.
Oh, you were going on about the comics.
I know. That's why.
Sorry.
I meant like that. And then when I went to, I
it.
started all over again from the beginning. They don't offer public services in regards to having a computer, having free internet, doing public events for kids, like a reading, story time type of thing. Because I've gone to my library, I've taken my sister there, and you'll walk in, like they have a section where obviously it's just like a huge place, like every book you can think of. And then you go off to the right, and it's like a room full of kids' books, like obviously like young adult books, stuff like that. And then if you look in the corner, like they've got like an area where kids can sit down, and you'll see like a bunch of kids sitting down, and this woman is reading like a book to them, and they're there getting interested. And they're like, now if you want to read more about this story, here are other books regarding the same person. You know, here's this, and it gets kids interested. Okay. You know, I don't feel like that's something that Amazon would ever do, because they're more business oriented, and they're just like, you know, we want to do services that promote us and make people eventually come to us and buy something from us. But
well, like I look at Barnes, for instance, and I know they do events for the local neighbor area. They're like, hey, this week is superhero week. Bring your kids in. We'll do arts and crafts on this day. We'll do Batman stuff on this day. They do events and workshops, probably not as consistently or as well structured, because as a library would, because I feel like a library has a staff that I don't know. I feel like when I see a library, I see a staff that is consistent, stable. I might be wrong. I'd love to hear if anyone knows anyone that's worked. I know a few people that have worked in libraries, but I haven't talked to them in a while. But when I think of like a Barnes, I think of people like, I'm getting this job to make ends meet until a certain other thing, and I'm like, I feel like there's not that personability that a library would have.
yeah,
but they do events, so I'd imagine an Amazon, if they were in that position, would attempt to do some things. What consistency they would have, or what reliability, or like the structure they would have, or what interests they would be pushing towards. Like maybe they wouldn't be like, we're just going to teach people how to make resumes. Maybe they'd be like, we're going to teach you how to go in a certain direction we want you to go because of our current advertising trend. You know, like with the sellers data.
One big thing is Amazon has their I forgot, Fulfillment by Amazon, I think it's called, or something like that, where FBA, that's what it's called. Like entrepreneurs or someone can start a business and literally send all their product to Amazon, and Amazon will essentially like ship it to them.
Mhm.
But there's cost for every shipment. You pay a certain amount,
I see.
a percentage, and that's something they could take to be classes like, here's how to use our service.
Yeah.
You know.
I think I fall in the camp of I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think libraries offer a lot of things that, for at face value, you're like, comparatively, Amazon does all like has books. They have, I mean, you say like movies and stuff. Amazon, if I have a Prime account, I have access to movies as well. Maybe not as out of print or offshoot, like not as old at a collection, but they could easily like absorb that or find that or whatever. Where I think they differ is that personability, that tied. It's like it's a part of a like when you ever go to any like I've lived in Oklahoma, small town, and I've come to Irvine. I've come to a couple other spots, and each area like the library is like a fountain. Like there's a city hall, there's library, and there's like a few other like essentials. And the library is just like ingrained in that.
Even Anaheim, hey, literally
Yeah, anywhere. Like it's just
across
it's
the
like
corner
it's
street,
an
yeah.
essential part of the lifeblood of
Mhm.
that city or that community, and for good reason. Like you see a university and you see like public libraries. There's just like there's something there. I think that the fact that it's not a business and it's a government thing. It's a city thing. It's a public thing. I think it kind of like makes it neutral ground. It's like there's no bias here.
Mhm.
We're available. Come anyone,
Mhm.
whatever you need. We're here for the things that like if you could like you said like if you don't have internet or you don't and you need an application, you're not gonna like well I'm fucked like that sort of. It's like
Yeah.
you can always count on this
Mhm.
or that. You know that's what,
I remember younger, I like schoolwork. We never bought a printer. I had to go to school. I had to go to if I had to do something before school started, I'd have to go to the public library, print my
and
stuff.
it's crazy what libraries offer now. There's some that have 3D printers. And like some that offer like you said workshops and training.
What are you
of-
making, Tommy? A gun?
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
that's
God.
that's another thing. I have a coworker who lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. She
Yeah.
lives like in the forest. Sorry.
Pretty good.
And she like not Snapchatted. She Instagram videoed. Literally her kid. She went to the public library, so she drove probably like 45 minutes to the public library, and he was playing an Oculus Rift
Wow.
at the public library.
Wow.
He was playing a 3D game.
Pretty soon you
In
can
the
go to a
public
library via Oculus.
Yeah,
Get
I
pink
mean,
eye.
yeah, he's gonna get pink eye, you know, because it's rubbed on
Yeah.
someone's butt. But he still has the option to get
Yeah.
pink eye. Like that's
Yeah.
insane, you know.
I do want to play a little bit of like
Devil's
not devil's advocate, but like I want
Friend.
to try and look at the positive of what Amazon could do.
You would have a great big selection of books, more than what the library offers, or
Well,
digitally.
What if they're making such a profit to the point where everyone is not even like it's not even a paid thing. It's like you know how you get your library cards free. You get a Kindle. Everyone gets a Kindle. Making reading more accessible in that way, where it's like you have.
I think it's a possibility that if they were to get extremely insanely big library wise, they would completely offer a Kindle. If obviously they knew money wise, they would be able to. Someone would purchase digital books.
Well, you
on
could
their
rent.
Kindle.
You could still do library books.
Right,
It
right.
would be like this is a Goodwill. Like we're at a point where we can make these sorts of things. I'm thinking like ballpark. Like this is what would get me to be like, good job, Amazon. Like it's not. I don't think it's gonna happen. But I'm like, what
No.
would it need?
So you're thinking they're gonna do it out of goodwill?
Well, no,
Because
no,
they're
not
so big.
Not
No.
Goodwill, yes, but like if they're at a point where like we own so much, we've grown so much, we've taken in this now, and we can control so much more because of that. Because now we have the other thing is public libraries don't disclose. They do disclose your private information that
Right.
you share. So that's protected.
Yeah.
Amazon doesn't. Like they use your information. You see ads all the time for the shit that you want to buy. And
For
see a wish
now,
list.
but things
and
can
like
change.
they can make money that way. They
Yeah.
can be like, whatever, we can give you Kindles because we're making a fuck ton of money off of you in many other ways.
Yeah.
And as long as you're okay with that, like enjoy these things we're offering you.
I think I agree that they would give free Kindles at some point, but I think for them it would be because they are at that point they would become the sole proprietors of how a book is delivered to someone.
Right, and you could still buy books through the Kindle,
Exactly.
and that would be an
So then
easier way of getting.
that'd be
right.
their then a return on investment essentially.
Sure.
Like they give a free Kindle to everyone, and then people are literally buying stuff for their Kindle, and that's where they're making their money. But I feel like they could in the forefront be like, this is goodwill for people, but I'm still gonna think in the background like this, they're literally gonna make money off of this, a shit ton of money off of this. I just don't think it's a goodwill gesture.
What would make it for you where Amazon would be a viable? Like, what would they have to do? If
I don't
anything?
think,
or is it just nothing?
Nothing, because everything they do will always have profits for them.
Okay.
And because of that, I can never see anything that they do as a goodwill gesture or something that just benefits society in general, because they're benefiting. Like, they are already like, it's insane. Like my go-to thing is always buying stuff from Amazon. Like when I was gonna buy a backpack, my first thought was like, let me check Amazon. I think it was just today a coworker was thinking about buying something, and some guy's like, you heard of Amazon? Check Amazon. I'm like, how the fuck has not heard of Amazon? Like, how do you even like start a sentence like that? But they're huge. They're ingrained in our daily life already, and like how much they've started from where they started to where they are now. It's insane, and it's scary that they could like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Idiocracy.
Yeah.
With like the Costco warehouse, a joke like Costco
Welcome to
literally,
Costco, I love
yeah,
it.
like they own everything.
I got my degree at Costco.
Yeah, exactly.
You
You
get
just
your
buy
degree
a
at
fucking degree in
Amazon.
Costco. I think like it's possible that Amazon can get to that point, that like everything is available to us through Costco or Amazon. Costco's available through Amazon. It's shit. I could buy the membership through there.
What about you, Jay?
I'm against it, but if they were to be viable, man, the selection would be fucking amazing, dude.
I think it'd be.
Whew.
Do they still have access to older stuff, like out of print stuff? And
Think so. It's really rare where I can't find a book on Kindle format. Okay. There was only one book, Battle Royale.
Really?
I can't. They don't sell it in Kindle format.
It's probably a really bad book.
Damn. The one thing I was gonna say earlier about the workshops, I was wondering if like Amazon, they could be like, hey, are you a aspiring writer, creator? We can offer you programs to like learn
That's
how to get
kinda
your
cool.
stuff out there, like self-produce or
So that's
publish.
that thing I wanted to like. If I had to give positivity towards Amazon, they offer a way for you to write a book and publish it through Amazon. And
Mhm.
Amazon will literally like print on demand. So like obviously they don't print anything, but when someone's like, I want this book,
Hmm.
they will print it and ship it to them. Like you can just have your own book written. The only issue is a lot of people they were playing the system for a while, because there's no way to distinguish an actual published book versus like a Amazon published book at a certain point, and people were like, hey, I'm a well-known artist, here's my book, and only sold through Amazon because it's like that print thing that they're doing.
Amazon, I hope you're listening to this idea. Amazon, if they want to succeed,
Game developers.
like in this market, like not succeed, they're succeeding. If they want to like change it, where they're like
Are you
the
trying
de
to help
facto,
them out right now?
I want to help them find the Casey Neistat of Amazon. I think they need to get into book content creation,
Hmm.
like writing, anything, by providing like making it as easy as it is to make a YouTube video.
I'm excited to read more fanfic, Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Grey.
More furry fiction.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like have these workshops, have everything, and then just have like, here's Amazon like major publication, like the Neil Gaimans, the Stephen Kings, all the authors that have like gone through.
Here's the indie authors.
and then here's content creation, and it's like either a separate platform or like a different page, and it's just like all self-published.
Make it
And
distinguishable.
the way in which you like they should make it. I don't know if they already do, because I know a few coworkers that have like, I've written a book or two. It's like some sci-fi thing.
Wow.
Like it's short stories, but
But still.
it's great. Like that they're like, I wrote this, and like I was worried about publishing, and it was really easy for them to upload it, and like you can pay a few bucks if you want to read their stuff. So it's cool. You're out there, and I was like, if they create an area and enough people jump on that as a platform, then you could be like, this is where people go to write stories and to get it out there.
I feel like they would, but with a profit. Like you would have to
Right,
pay.
like it's gonna be the same thing YouTube goes through.
Right, right, right.
Adpocalypse, all this other shit. You know, after 8 pages, ad.
That's the thing, though. Like, then there's like the I agree with you, the like profit thing, but now at least with like the self publication thing, I see it as like YouTube, where YouTube makes money off of us as well. But you know, in the beginning, we were able to make.
I'm not familiar enough with like the writing
Me neither.
spaces, so I don't know if it already is out there or if Amazon already has that covered. But I don't know enough about it to be like it's not popular enough yet to be like a YouTube, and I'm like, that's what they should work towards in terms of workshops, in terms of like getting people to learn. Like, come here and we'll like. I do so again, like if they do workshops, I feel like all of it would be through chat or through a text service, and I'm like, I don't feel like I have a personal like. I've worked with like let's say Janet or Mark at the local library. I know Janet or Mark. They either are very much on the same page as me or they're not, and I can based on that information I can make a decision and be like, I think this workshop is great.
Mhm.
It's like you go to a local gym or something, like there's classes, there's people, trainers and stuff. You know, you get to know these things, and it stops becoming like here's a robot talking to me, and here's this person that knows the skill and knows how I learn and how to we can go about this.
Right.
I think it's not going to be like a travesty if it happens. I don't think libraries are going to go anywhere because of all that they offer and how ingrained they are. But I definitely, I like what, okay, here's the like, why don't they like meet like what they're doing right now with working with libraries? Why don't they find more ways to work with libraries to be like, like your goals are great. We want to help and not take over.
Here's like to play devil's advocate. The article mentions if Amazon took over, we would save a lot on tax. Like I think it was like $500 million.
$400.
But how much on your Prime account?
$1 million.
That's right.
They start like, hey, your Prime account went up again
Right.
because we just gave everyone free Kindles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I that's like all the tax and stuff, but and then they're cutting on. I think federally, like they cut school and library resources,
Which is
this crap.
That's
They
another-
recently gave out a shit ton of Alexa, the screen ones.
Mhm.
They were supposed to be like
Oh, Amazon?
$100 flat, and for some reason the discount was 100% off.
Oof.
And you know how they do like shipping immediately. People that got that quickly received it. There was people that ordered 10 and received it,
Ha!
and then here I am
Flip it.
being 16 minutes late. It says order until September when it'll be shipped. I was like, I'll place in the order anyways. Place the order in, and they canceled it. But a lot of people got like this guy got $1,000 worth of shit for free. So they could do the Kindle thing, is what I'm saying.
I was gonna say something else. I think like you look at public libraries, but I also look at like how much I was involved in my university library.
Yeah.
And I know people that go to university
Mhm.
libraries for a lot more like I'm looking for research.
See,
books.
but now it can be a university Amazon library. All digital. You have to virtual
VR it?
reality. Yeah, hop in, and you create your own private room. You invite people privately. It's just how it is. It's the future.
Got him.
Got 'ems.
I'm curious what happens though.
I don't know.
I hope they support like instead of being like we're taking over, we're gonna be like we're on the same page as you. We want to make the same goals. We're just a business.
I agree with you. Where I do want them to be able to use their resources and power to unite themselves more with libraries. But I feel like for them, it's literally a stepping stone into taking over the library business. Like the more they integrate themselves in the libraries, the more eventually they will become.
Because then, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they're business.
I just want more people to read.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
a
love
lost-
libraries are
It's a
great.
lost art, dude. Slowly,
Believe it or not.
the phones are taking over.
Well, that's why I'm like, if anything they can help, it's like making it easier to read, and I think like having a Kindle app or something on any device, so you can always have something, is one way. What other like that? But
More reading, less memes.
all right, next topic.
No, I want to continue talking about this.
All right,
topic.
more memes.
All right.
My topic is, so there's a recent game that essentially re-released, and it's getting a lot of good reviews now. I don't want to mention it. I don't know if it's one of your guys' ones, so I don't want to take it from you.
I thought you mentioned it in our prompt.
Huh?
Never mind. Go
I
ahead.
did not mention it.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna see what you think.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Uh-huh.
You're right. I apologize.
No, I don't mean it that way.
I know.
I was trying to get my thoughts. So the game, when it originally came out, I bought into the hype, bought the game, and it was a really good game in the beginning. But the thing is, like, after like maybe an hour of playing, you realize like this is literally the whole game, and you just do it over.
I think also in addition to that, it was
again.
like we promised X,
Yeah.
we delivered Y.
Exactly,
And
and
a
it
lot of
wasn't
people were
even.
pissed off that.
It was like X with like 13 things, like detail wise, like multiplayer, like everyone. You'll see everyone in the game, and it was like almost a single player game. You don't see anyone in this game. That was the biggest one. I think is the fact that they're like when someone changes the planet to mold it the way they want to, and you land on the planet, you will see those changes. It's like, nah, bro, everything is separate. There's no one here. And so yeah, they re-released it. But so I wanted to bring up, like, what games have you seen that came out flops in the beginning and have redeemed themselves either by you obviously updating it or just like a re-release? And I'll go ahead and start it. Final Fantasy 14. So this is the second MMO of Final Fantasy. The first one was 11. This one came out. This is another one I bought into. I bought like the whole collector's edition. The biggest thing about the collector's edition is like literally like you put all this information and they sent you like a birth certificate of the character that you created. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I was like, I've got that sucker, put it up on my wall. I was like, this is perfect. Game was terrible, dude. Game connection wise was just bad. Like,
oh man,
it was so bad. What's funny too is like it was for a whole year that this one game was out, and then they took it off and they like worked on it and re-released it like maybe a year and a half after its original release. By that time, I had completely forgotten all of my login information. And they were like, with this new game, if you bought the first one, you get this one for free. I rebought it because I lost all the information on the other one. I don't remember my account. So I had to rebuy it
you
and
can't do
like
like
add it in.
forget password.
So Square Enix does this stupid thing where there's like 16 different accounts. Like there's an account to
It's
log
like
into the
Nintendo.
website. There's an account to log into a game. There's an account to log into like. So they have like a what is it called? When you open the game, it opens up like a small window.
Yeah.
There's a login for that, separate from logging into the game. And I
Got lost.
I lost everything. Anyways,
You bought it again.
yeah, it's bought it again, played it, and it's really good. It is really good game, but it's so tough to get into a new MMO when like something I've always loved is World of Warcraft. So I never truly got into it. But I've dabbled into it. I probably got like I quit and got back into it probably like 4 times or so. The last time I went back into it was PS4. They released it on there.
Yeah. Stormblood.
No, that's not the one I got into. I got before that came out.
Okay.
I got into it.
I remember seeing a lot of ads for that one.
Because the biggest thing is like, I'm bad at micromanaging like my icons. Like I forget that there's some available, and I won't lose like my character's abilities to his full potential because I'll forget these moves that they have. And I was like, on a controller, it's all there.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just have to either hold R2 and then my menu switches to the other menu that I have. I was like, it'll be so much easier. And it was better, but I don't know. Eventually, I just stopped playing again. But yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is my comeback story.
Let me see.
I only have one game on the list.
I only had one too. Go for it.
Fork Knife. Now, I wasn't saying
That's
the game
true,
was
actually.
bad
Is
in the
it?
beginning. It wasn't bad, but I'm just saying the interest.
It wasn't what it is now.
The interest for it when it first came out.
I honestly feel that if it never had the
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale, I think that original game would have flopped.
I don't know what made
I
it
don't-
so big.
So
That's
what
the
happened?
thing.
So do you guys know before that it was in development for fucking ever?
It's still
I didn't even
early
know that.
access.
Well, it's still, but like before it was even available, like it was in development for like 8 or 9, no, 4 or 5 maybe years. they just kept like it was dragging. It was at an E3 like 4 or 5 like many years ago, and then they're like,
Wow.
we're working on it. Comes out,
I know.
and it was that building horde mode
Yeah.
sort of game, and it wasn't bad. But I remember people griped like, "There's too many menus, there's too many buttons and customization. Like it's overwhelming." But the game is fun, and people were doing custom stuff. I was listening to some people who were like, "I'm playing Fortnite," and like before this recent the battle royale stuff. And it's all right. There's the founders pack. There's all this stuff. It's okay. Like they weren't like raving about it.
I know Cliff Blinsky was one who backed it a lot. He was always talking about it, and I thought originally I thought he had his hands on it.
I think I don't know. His hands have been everywhere.
Yeah, but he's a handsy kind of guy. But yeah, I mean, like
I would count that.
once it became that battle royale, that
I think
gosh,
okay.
dude.
Do you think it being free to play or it being battle royale? Like, do you think had they not happened at the same time, it would have?
I think the biggest thing is
It's
free to
battle.
play. I think
Crossplay, free to play, battle royale, crossplay,
Triforce.
crossplay.
But the thing is, like, it came out on. Was it on PS4?
PS4.
That's right, and then you can still play it. The only thing that it doesn't play friendly with is Switch. It doesn't
No.
make any sense.
Right? No,
and
Xbox.
Xbox. Yeah, right. Just PC.
It's PC, PS4, and then PC everything
Xbox,
else.
Yeah.
And phones, I guess. I think the people would have still paid to play the battle royale.
I just don't think it would have been as big though. It would have been like gated because
Like I'm thinking in terms of like they've all been the recipe for like the sugar spice everything nice like Chemical X, fucking genius. But to me, the biggest impact was that mode was hot off of PUBG, and they came in and they're like, we not only have that mode, but we have building as well.
I would put its biggest weight on the free to play because I feel like its biggest fan base are younger kids who wouldn't be able to purchase a game.
That's a fair point.
I think that's its biggest selling point. But the thing is, it's true. The enticing part was the fact that it was
That mode.
a battle royale at the
'Cause
time
quick.
of battle royale being such a big thing. So yeah,
That's a good pick.
I didn't even think of that one. That was a good one. That was like a comeback.
I was talking to Foley about just how big Fortnite is. Like, I was telling him, dude, the last big game like that was World of Warcraft, where non-gamers are playing it. Like, I can't think of name a game where a non-gamer.
The
was
way
playing,
I see
playing
it
the game.
is not
I
non-gamers.
mean, I can't.
Like girls are playing. Like World of Warcraft was a game that girls would play.
So the way I see
I think
it,
though that the culture has changed. You
Right.
can't. I wouldn't have like that culture at the time World of Warcraft came out was different. I think games became more accessible to all people. I think Overwatch was a big one for a while, but again that was a different culture. So I'm like,
no. Well,
go ahead.
what I want to say is I think World of Warcraft was huge because it brought people that I would have never assumed. Not that it brought it.
got one.
It opened them up to be like, yes, I play this game. It's like, holy shit, you play.
Moms are playing this game.
Yeah,
No, I got
like,
the game.
Like
I got the game.
Mila Kunis, like that's someone who I would see. I'm like, they don't play games, you know. And she's huge. She still kind of dabbles in the game, you know.
I know the game.
And the reason when you brought Overwatch, I don't think that was such a big one because it didn't bring people that I would never assume to play, being like, yeah, I play it. But Fortnite, dude, like soccer, like people that win the World Cup and they're like doing the fucking.
Rappers.
They're doing the wiggle, like, holy shit, dude, like.
I'm checking my dates to make sure it came out after.
But yeah, like, that's why. So
Yep.
World of Warcraft is one, and then
Maybe
Fortnite is the
Wii,
next.
but I mean,
Wii Sports.
yeah, maybe.
No, that was for sure. People, my grandparents were playing that game.
Maybe, but
It's true.
100%.
It's
That
true.
we like
But
skyrocketed.
I
And
still don't see it that
hurt
way.
it though because it's like this is now accessible to everyone. So we're just making a bunch of gimmicky shit, and then they were like, we're losing our core fan
Yeah.
base, and then we lost everything with the Wii U, or most things, and
Yeah,
it
maybe,
burned
yeah.
them. It burned them.
It's
But
funny.
I would put
Wii U is like
the
its
Wii
biggest
Sports-
success
Mm.
and one of its biggest flops.
Wii Sports
No, Wii U in general.
basic success. How?
Wii U was like insanely like unable to be purchased like its first
Because
year.
it barely sold anything.
No, it
Yeah.
got it.
Like right now, the Switch has sold 18 million, That's how many they sold in 5 years of
Yeah.
the Wii U, and this is coming on barely year 2 of the Switch.
That's still a really good
But
number. I mean, I know what you're
With
saying.
the Wii
but
Sports, though, I do believe it brought non-gamers. But what was the lifespan on that? 1 month, 2
Wii
months?
Sports?
Yeah,
I played it like last year.
I would say a year.
yeah.
People still
The
like if you have a Wii
Yeah,
and
it's
you have
still
Wii
a,
Sports, anyone can fucking pop
Yeah.
on that.
I don't know. I didn't play for a year.
Again, like I never played World of Warcraft, so it's like you
Alright.
gotta look at the different vibe. But as a whole, I think it had a similar impact as what you're saying with Fortnite and all these at those time periods. Why are you looking at me like that? Anyway, comeback. My comeback.
I'm trying to make it awkward for you. All right.
I can make it awkward.
What is your game?
My game
Mm-hmm.
is a game we're familiar with.
Where's your third nipple? Sorry.
Destiny 1. I feel like when it came out, people made it like people remember the fun parts of it. They like look back on like, man, do you remember the Loot Cave? Man, do you remember this? And like during it, people were like, fuck, we gotta do this shit again. And like there was moments that were like people love, and I feel like it's easier to look back on and be like, that was good
It's
time.
comeback
But like
story.
for a
Taken
good
King.
7-8 years, it was just like not years, months. It was just like, man, this is fucking broken. Like this is so counterintuitive. They're not communicating with us. All this shit. And then they released a DLC, and it was a step forward. And then they released another DLC. It was like a step back. And then a short while after that, Taken King came out, and
It was-
like it changed the game.
It was a game changer, but it was still like badly received because there
Taken
were
King?
like, yeah, because you had to buy the whole game over again.
So some people had issues with that, but a lot of people were like turned off by that. They're like, I haven't played any of these DLCs, so I'll just jump on. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But for people that kept up with it, they were extremely.
you could buy it by itself.
that
but-
was after people complaining.
Okay. Anyway, the game itself, like going into it, like as a new player to Taken King, it was so much more like streamlined,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, they've course corrected, they've learned, they're going forward, fantastic. And what's funny is like I kind of want to say them Destiny twice because when they came out with 2, it was good steps short term, but then you look at the longevity of it, they're like, why did they take these out after that? Like,
yeah.
this is a new game, and they took things out
I
that
was gonna say.
were improved upon, and now they're reintroducing it to us as if it's new again. And it's like, no, like you had it before. Like, are we just gonna take things out, put things back in, and make it seem like it's like new? Like, it was a little like
It's like
Mm.
Trump, you know. He's like,
well,
I
like-
never did
well,
this.
like sometimes I know a lot of
There's
people like to be
record
like,
of it.
well, it's probably Activision. Fuck Activision. Like Activision's this easy scapegoat. But sometimes I'm like, maybe they were like, let's try do like
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like I'm curious what it was.
And it could be obviously they're trying to juggle like new things with you know
Sure.
they're like all right, we have
Resources.
to bring the old
Because
resources
they're like
too.
when they were making Destiny 1, they had a small team on Destiny 2,
Mhm.
and then Destiny 2 became the big thing, and then they were like, okay, we got to keep like managing our resources.
I
But
still don't think Destiny 2 is as big as Destiny Taken King was.
no,
I feel like that was
I think they
its
lost.
peak.
I-
That
yeah,
was its
yeah,
peak.
yeah.
And it was such a good. And the thing is, like, just to add, Destiny original while during the Loot Cave, they had really good updates in that time. But the thing is, overall, it just wasn't enough content.
It's like
to where it was-
band-aids on like something that was broken. It's like
But-
these band-aids aren't fixing it.
To me, some of the band-aids were like, that's a really good idea. And like, obviously, if they expanded more, it maybe would have been better. But eventually, like, they really
foundation.
hit it. Like, it was like, I feel like it's like, you know how the doctor like hits your knee,
Yeah.
like, and he's trying to make it move, and then when it hit like the Taken King, it's like boom, like I just destroyed the fucking table, you know, like
Yeah.
I kicked up. That's a good one. But and then that's it. I decided to have one for each one, but I'm gonna bring up the game that originally got me the idea, and that's No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't sure if one of you guys are gonna say it or not, but No Man's Sky, yeah, original game, disastrous flop, dude. Like they were getting so much shit for this game.
I think a lot of it had to do with the marketing.
Yeah, because there were like
Imagine-
unlimited potential. Like
imagine that game came-
hundreds of millions of stars.
It came out like a PUBG or a Fortnite. We're like, hey, we're early access. Come enjoy it. We're gonna keep updating it. And had they rolled out that way, I think the story would have been very different.
I don't know.
Because they wouldn't have been like, we're promising all this stuff out the door.
I know, but like, I don't know if they stopped they obviously they went they hid for a long time after the game released.
They were working
They
on
were-
these updates.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, they didn't release it in small episodes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what they had to do. I don't know if it was a whole revamp because it's a big update, and I have not downloaded it yet.
Okay.
But I'm sure that it was just a lot of I don't know if they would have been able to add this as additional content throughout the game's lifespan for it to be because
I'm not saying they would have been doing it sprinkling. Like they kept the same update period time points like a year from now or whatever. Like now when they release
Right.
it now, but this whole time it was just a stamp of early access. I don't think people would have been outraged the way they were when they're like, we have a new game.
the thing is the reason it was huge in the beginning before obviously people realized that the game is not what it was the hype that it had.
'Cause
Without that hype, if it was just early access without hype, I don't feel like they would have been as good. I don't feel like they would have done as many sales, therefore they would have just kind of given up in the beginning and maybe not continued updating the game.
Maybe.
It's hard to say, obviously. But that's my idea is they wouldn't have. But yeah, they came back with it. There's these monoliths in the game, and the original didn't do anything. Obviously, you see that and you're like, there has to be something with this. It looks like there's something that can be here. And this new update, they made them into portals
Okay.
that connect people to servers. If your friend's playing on a planet, and it's another server kind of thing, you can literally he can activate it. It comes up with a destination code. He inputs it in his code in his portal, and he just hops into your game, and you can see them there. They've a lot of revamps on the planet. How much content is on each planet. Did a lot of the freighter stuff, a lot of the home
major
base
overhaul.
building. Yeah, it was major overhaul, and people are loving it. As of right now, I don't know, man. We'll see how it gets in the future.
Huh.
But yeah, there's a guy called King Gathalion
Yeah, I know.
that I follow.
He's a Destiny streamer.
And
Or started, now he's
he's doing a lot of No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
I started following him, and every time I follow someone new, I forget to take off live notifications. So
I bothers the shit out of me.
4 a.m, it's King Gathalion now online. I'm like,
He gets on early.
what the fuck, dude? You're crazy.
I can only handle him in doses. He has a personality that he does
Very
a cer-
bland.
Well, it's his laugh, and then when he gets preachy or salty, he tries to. It's like he's talking to himself. He's like, "Nah, dude, this isn't that's not cool. This is cool." I'm like, "Man, you're getting weird. Stop. Just have fun. That's all I want." The last one I want to mention, Diablo 3. That launch was horrible.
I don't remember it.
The error, everyone's launching it, and it was an error, a certain thing. Crap. Auction House was out. Everyone was like, "What the fuck?" It's taking advantage. I remember that. What I saw then, it was playable. I didn't hate it, but I remember compared to Reaper of Souls and that point where they revamped the systems and everything, streamlined. It was stop. The game wasn't fighting me.
Yeah.
It was working with me to help me do whatever the hell I wanted to do. So I thought that was impressive how much the difference was. It was, to me, not to as an extreme an extent as Destiny, but in a similar vein of we have a game, we have systems in place, the foundation has some patches, we're gonna overhaul that.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable mention. It's not a single game. Monster Hunter. They made it. They improved the mechanics. Old school Monster Hunter versus World.
Oh,
It's
so
not a
just
single, not a single game, but just mechanics wise.
but they weren't failure.
yeah, but it wasn't very easy for newcomers.
Right.
Like it,
Oh,
A
so
lot
you're
of
referring
people-
newcomer wise. I
yeah,
do agree
a
with
lot
that.
of
Accessible.
people
Yeah,
jumped on to.
I agree
World.
with that, and especially right now at this behemoth. Oh,
Woo!
And PC release.
oh my
Woo!
god! Do you know if the behemoth is on PC?
I think so.
Woo!
I just can't imagine playing with a mouse and keyboard.
I
on
was
PC.
reading.
Oh.
Apparently, the behemoth is gonna be a permanent monster.
Oh,
Really?
shit.
It's not an event. The event monster.
Did Steve tell you that? Hey.
I think the event, the timed event thing.
Yeah.
It's not out yet, but they're gonna make an enraged version of the behemoth. And right now, people are having a very hard time with the behemoth.
Damn.
So I wonder what
It's a
people are gonna.
Saturday.
So there's a guy I follow called Kanta Permi.
Yeah, I know. He does all the sets.
Getting fucking wrecked.
Really?
Dude. Getting motherfucking wrecked. But he doesn't know, at least even as of watching him today, doesn't know about the jump dodge.
Maybe just I don't want to.
He runs behind a thing. He's also testing stuff out. So there's times where he fights them stuff happens, doesn't die, but he's like start bending quest, starts like I think it's testing out the sets, seeing what does more damage. But I have yet to see him kill the behemoth. And I had him on like today. I think I had him on like for a good few hours.
He's fun to watch
at work. I just like silent mode, just have it on my phone. I'm like working. I look down, didn't see him kill anything.
That guy.
But it's exciting. I'm excited. I can't obviously pay tonight or
come back.
Maybe tomorrow night. But
hey, come back.
Come on our back.
What?
Whoa, episode 69 plus.
All right, my topic.
Yeah.
All right, we're kind of a similar subject, but you mentioned the hard to get into, and I was thinking of games that are like
references. It was hard.
It was a little stiff, the controller. Now I was thinking of games that like we've recommended often, but I was thinking of like, okay, what are not just games but movies or books or whatever that we want to recommend, but it's difficult because you're like, oh, it's daunting or whatever the reasons are. It's like there's something that makes it difficult to recommend. What comes to mind when you think of that? Do you want me to start?
The Wire TV show.
Really?
I've recommended it to so many people. No one wants to watch it. It just doesn't sound, I guess, appealing. Because when I sell it, I go, it's about the city of Baltimore. And they're like, I don't want to watch
Baltimore. I thought it was Detroit.
Baltimore. Murderland. Baltimore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's about Baltimore. I tell them it's about the city of Baltimore. And they're like, I don't want to watch that. Like,
I've had the same difficulty. I think the difficulty I have is people have watched so many different cop shows that they just write off any other. They're like, I've seen them all, or I've seen enough of them. And I'm like, no, this is
like, realistic.
This is different in that like it's
bad boys.
It's on the surface a cop show, but at a deeper level, it's like the level of detail of like a Game of Thrones. But in the end, it's like overall, it's about a city, and like that is what blows my mind is like how well it captures that and how it portrays that. And the few that have watched it, like one of my friends, Sam, man, like. I was so excited when he started watching. I was like, "Oh my god, I missed this!" Like, I loved like when I was watching, it was boom, boom, boom.
For The Wire,
yeah,
it was. It's a slow start to the point I haven't like fully entered.
Slower than Stranger Things,
dude. Season 4 is about the public education system. That is one of the like. That sounds boring. That sounds boring. It's about the school system. Yeah. It's one. I love that season. It's one of the best, probably the best season.
I have to go back and remember because there was some moments in one of the seasons that I love. But anyway, that's a good one.
I didn't like season 2 though.
Just wanted to bring up there's an episode where they don't say a single word. They say fuck.
That was a scene. Yeah. They're like fuck. Like 15.
Fuck.
I was like
they opens the fridge. Fuck. And he's like what? Fuck.
One of my favorite lines in TV is from that show.
The long. Oh my gosh. For me, I don't have anything exact, but I feel like stuff that has generally nudity. I think when Game of Thrones first came out, that was a tough, like, you should watch this show, and it's like, oh, but it has quite a bit of nudity. That's something that would have been tough to tell to my dad, you know? But now that it's like, there's more seasons to it, and you're like, no, there's way more to this now than just...
Way more nudity.
All the nudity, you know?
Full frontal.
Full frontal. They're shaming.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, there's depth, and there's, like, payoff, and there's investment. And all
there's anime too. I don't remember the name of it. It's like wide. I don't know what it is, but
I would say anime in general is a tough. So it's like, dude, once you get past the first 800 episodes, then it picks up.
Well,
like,
with those,
like fuck up.
Like if we're talking about like Naruto or One Piece, those I don't have an issue. Like obviously it's gonna be like there's a lot to it, but then there's ones where like I've seen it and I enjoy because the concept like. This guy tries to save this girl from getting hit by a truck. It jumps in front of the truck to try to move out of the way. Gets hit, dies.
Spoiler.
And then, like, kind of like an angel comes down, and they're like, "You didn't have to do that. Like, she literally wasn't gonna die, but because it was a good gesture, we'll reanimate you, and you can like." They're like, "Here's some options." And I don't even know how this option exists, but he literally becomes a video game character, and then he's surrounded by very good-looking anime women that become awkward situations where like he might almost see them naked, and it's just like I didn't mean to. And
fan service.
Yeah, exactly. But like, there's more to it. But that like a lot of it is like it's just him and a bunch of girls at this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Have
it's
you heard
kinda
of
weird.
High School of the Dead?
I have, but I haven't seen it. Is that similar? Like
that is
there's-
like 100% fan service.
Holy
It's
shit.
like a zombie apocalypse, and it's like a boy and this nerdier boy.
yeah.
And they're the only guys. And then there's just a bunch of these like Sailor Moon looking hot chicks, but they aren't like they're children.
Yeah.
But they look like Laura Croft, like cranked to like 20 on the body. And the way the animation is, there's like one scene that is I love this.
Is it the bullet?
It's the sniper shot, and the chick's boobs are like in between. It's like it's ridiculous.
I've seen that
Good?
scene.
Yeah.
I think you showed it to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, that's probably me.
So
Anyway.
stuff like that. I don't have an exact thing that I've had issues with like recommending because I don't recommend anime to people.
I would say like anime that is long form. Like there's a lot, obviously, like the Death Notes, the Gurren Lagans, some of these other ones
Mhm.
where it's like one season
Mhm.
or a few seasons. Those are easier. I feel like you can do that like a regular like show on Netflix
Right.
or whatever. But when you get to the One Pieces, the Narutos, the DBZs, and that stuff, it's like you're in for a fucking journey, and it's like I don't know if I want that. Like
Mm-hmm. Like Stranger Things season 3.
there's what comes with it, because what I associate with that long of a show is filler. How much filler do I have to watch to get like the epic story that you're telling me about?
Right.
And I remember like reading a lot of it in manga form, and I was like, "Fuck this shit." Okay, there's the story, and fuck this shit story. DBZ, infamous for that. Like fake Namek, fuck that whole side storyline. I hated that
one
shit.
season of him holding a spray bomb.
Yeah. But what I was going to bring up was similar to that, but in British shows, I was going to bring up Doctor Who. Great
Ooh.
show. Love what I've seen of it, but very difficult to recommend.
It's
I
strange
think
because like,
it's science fiction, I think.
well, for me was when
I
it,
think it's a couple of things.
when it first came. When it was huge here, I was like, I want to watch it from the beginning.
What do you mean? So what do you mean?
I mean, like original.
So that's what the thing is. People get
That hurt.
confused.
Exactly. Like I was like, I'm gonna see this,
I was,
and it was like, that is. I don't want to watch this shit.
the thing is,
It was bad.
my old roommate when I lived in Costa Mesa, he did that. It took him 2 years, and he was on it. Like,
Yeah.
And then he had to find. He's like certain seasons were only in audio form, so he was just like listening to it in like a
Dang,
video.
he is
and there was like
fucking dedicated.
he was like, I want to get through it, and he did. I was like, fuck.
and then he like realizes like they didn't mean this one, they meant this new one.
For me though, the difficult part was like I was trying to get into it, and I was people were like, okay, watch from the beginning. I'm like, well, which beginning? Because there's like at the time 8 Doctors. Like it was when they restarted things with
Yeah,
Eccleston, the guy before Tennant,
yeah,
Eccleston.
bald, right? I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I thought that was the one, but then they're like, wait, I was like, do
That's
I go
still
before
Leviathan.
that? And they're like, no, just start there. You're fine. I'm like, I get, like, after I spoke to people that had watched it, I was like, be my guide. What do I do? He's like, start there and just go. I was like, all right, I'll start. And I was watching, and the other parts started coming up. Like, I don't think sci-fi hurt it. I think it helped it, but I think the production quality, which is its style of being like sort of campy
Cheesy.
looking plunger
Mhm.
Daleks and stuff, is initially off-putting to masses.
Right.
You're thinking like Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, all these. I mean, Star Wars is more recent. Star Wars and all these other ones more recent, where it's like insane
Yeah.
visual effects, details, all this stuff, space. And this one looks somewhat cheesy, somewhat campy, but it's part of its charm. And I grew to like that, but it took a while. Like I would be like, all right, I'll watch an episode a week, and I just kept chugging.
I,
was
I
like,
think I only finished that one season with that
With that guy, yeah. Then I went on to Tenet, and that was when I was like loving it, and then I was like, man, I don't want to leave. And it was that again. The other daunting thing is, or not daunting, but like discomforting thing is like
It
you get
changes.
attached to one. You're used to like this show has a one main character, and with that usually means one main actor. And this is a show where it's part of the nature of the lore where the actor changes because the character regenerates.
Regenerate.
And I think it's cool, like thinking of it as
Cool
like a meta.
concept.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
concept is really cool. But like when I first was into it, I'm like, I'm so invested with this one after like 3 or 4 seasons. I don't want to see him change. And the character is they're thinking that way too. And then you change and you go through the motions of like, man, I don't like this guy. This season sucks. This new season, dude, I don't. And then you're like, he's got some good ideas, and then by the end of it, you're like, dude, why are you leaving? And like it's the cycle fucking all over again. And it's like, how many times can you take that?
Have you seen? I think this new season has a female doctor.
Yeah,
Have you?
so I stopped. I watched Matt Smith, which was the last young one,
So
and then they
there's
did
Tennant and then Smith,
then Smith, and then
Goddamn.
Peter Capaldi is
which
the
is
older
the
guy.
older. Yeah.
I watched like a few episodes of that one, and then I was watching other stuff and doing other things. I kind of went off, but I want to get back to it someday. But again, it's like I gotta get back. It's a long.
It's funny you bring up Doctor Who because I feel like fan wise, like it's died out, or like I don't hear much about it. Like I go to cons and I didn't see a single.
I think it's one of those things that it's not like ever like explosive fandoms. I think it's always like a passive thing. It's like Trekkies. You're like live long and prosper.
I feel like the
Doctors
reason
are always like
the reason I tried to get into it was because of its explosive fandom. Like it just blew
Really?
up. Yeah, like it was huge. It was everywhere, dude. Like we go to cons and I feel like I saw at least 3 to 4 Daleks.
Weeping women, angels.
Yeah, and I don't see anything, and I don't know if that's just obviously like the fandom has died down to the point where like there's still the fans are there and the show's doing well, or if the show's just doing bad now.
I think it's still doing well. I don't know because I haven't watched the latest,
Exactly.
but I would argue that it could also be that the other things are taking the spotlight. It's like for a while it
Game
was
of
going
Thrones.
through like maybe now with the new season coming
Westworld.
out, with the new season coming out and the chick playing it and people are like really supportive of it. Like I heard like one of the best panels or showcases was her coming out on
Oh, wow.
on a panel stage and like doing some stuff. I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
I heard that got a lot of buzz at the convention. So who knows? That was one of mine. Do you guys have any
Anything to do with reading? I feel
anything
like-
at all?
dude? The amount of people I know that read friends wise.
What do you when you say
Dune.
reading? What are you saying? Are you saying books, comics, articles?
Ooh, damn.
Well, no, like if you're referring to like read the book, I understand what you mean, but like reading in general, I try
Books
to
is probably less.
Yeah.
Comics is far less. People
Really?
who read comics, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about more like book stuff.
okay.
More in a
Just
book.
wanted to check.
More like
Do
Dune.
you feel like short stories are easier to recommend than full novels, or do you feel like
I
full
feel like short stories that are read on podcasts, like LeVar Burton reads, is easier to recommend, but
What about do you consider in your in your recommendation? This goes to both of you. Audiobooks. Do you consider that
yeah,
like, hey, you should listen to this? Like if you have Audible or whatever.
I consider it reading.
Okay.
Props to the people who do double speed. to like,
That's
people
what
do
I
that.
do.
They watch YouTube videos and they listen to podcasts double speed just to like consume as much as they can.
I did
podcasts.
that with a Gundam, the original Gundam show. My friend was like, "Here's all the seasons or all the discs." It's like, fuck, I gotta watch this. So I put it on double speed. I was like, this is way better.
Yeah, I just the sound distortion. Just I couldn't do that.
It's funny.
I can't.
I think my dad was.
It
doing
works
that for
with
a while.
DBZ really well.
My dad was doing that for a while. He was listening to podcasts. He listens to like.
Weekly.
I
DLC?
mean, I would consider them dull podcasts, but they're like life, like how to save, how to invest, all that stuff
okay.
like that.
Productivity.
And I don't think he did it on purpose. He somehow changed the setting to always be double speed. And so he was like, I don't know why he does this, but this is how he listens to everything.
Gary Vaynerchuk.
He's just
And-
talking to you really fast. I was like, Dad, why are you talking so fast? He's like, I don't know.
And so
Sold.
I ended up fixing it for him, and now he listens to double speed.
Okay.
But he was like, I don't know,
No.
that's how it is. I was
I
like,
do. I agree. Books, I think, are very difficult as a whole to recommend.
Yeah, like you want me to read Dune? I'm never gonna read Dune.
That's on my to read list, but fuck, my to read list is I have an order that I need to do
Okay.
to make YouTube videos.
But you don't follow that order.
and I don't even make the YouTube videos, so I do follow. I do try to follow the order. But dude, it's been a long time in the making.
I picked up so many books, and man,
I've started many.
I haven't so I started Harry Potter, but it's been so long I would have to probably restart it. I was like halfway through the first book. Probably have to restart it.
The first two
Um,
books suck. I mean, there not. They don't suck. They're not that.
Um,
Well,
great.
think of it. This is intended to be like a young adult's book as a
Yeah,
whole.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like you gotta put that in perspective.
Right.
The last book I read, so we remember how we were doing We're gonna do the interview with Andy Weir.
Weir.
Ooh.
I got like 75% of his book, and I fucking just stopped. Like
Did
just
you finish the book?
dead in the water. Stop.
He's not listening.
The
Eddie Weir-
last
Eddie Weir?
official book I finished was Aragon, and this was like a few years back. Already.
That's BS. Ready Player One.
oh, that's true.
Called you out.
But that was like I sped through that to finish it before the
what
movie
about the
came
short
out.
story by Andy Weir? For Ready
I
Player
mean,
One.
that's a short story.
No.
Is this
The
Sorrento?
Yeah, Sorrento.
Oh, I'm missing spoilers.
No, so okay, Ready Player One. That's it. Really, I'm trying to think to make sure. Yeah, and then the one following that would have been Artemis. No, what was it called?
Aragon? Artemis.
No.
Oh,
his,
yeah, Artemis. That was his
Yeah,
book.
his other book. Yeah, I'm like 75% of that. Might as well just finish something. I have 2 copies of that book too. I bought one and then I had to buy one to get signed because I couldn't bring it in.
I mean, on the flip side, I don't watch shows. I don't watch
know.
movies. I stream and read, and stream is #1 priority.
I need to
that's-
read more, especially to save the libraries.
I need to watch season 2.
We'll watch it in Seattle.
3-hour flight.
Weekly DLC after party. Watch Stranger Things season 2 with us.
Read Stranger Things season 2 with us.
There's one other one I wanted to suggest, and it's one I love, but it's also again one that's just like people just whoosh.
Let me guess. You ready for this? Pornhub.com.
That's not hard to recommend. I mean, it is hard. It's not hard.
It's hard, softcore porn.
Is a movie about time travel that is independent.
Primer.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen it.
I think a lot of people are like,
I've seen it.
It's
great.
complicated.
yeah. I think like me pitching is like, oh, it's a movie. It's like, okay, fine. And then I'm like, well, it kind of like breaks things down, and you have to see it like
That's one
you,
where
you
it's-
appreciate it.
It's 2 friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of times I've tried recommending that one. Doesn't get much traction after I'm explaining like what the
Because
special thing about
You know
it
why?
is. Huh?
Science fiction.
I think
I mean, Star Wars is science. There's so much science fiction
That's
out
true.
there.
I would say the movie
it's like
is,
a type of science fiction.
I would say the movie's
that
very
I think
technical.
you're like. I agree with that.
I think the movie's very technical.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's what like you appreciate of it. It's like if you go back and
Yeah.
you think of this,
It's not like
I
it's
don't.
not like a standard movie where it's something that you're following. You're like, oh shit, like all this is stuff. No, it's like it's explaining everything to you. Things happen that are interesting, but like you just lose it because there's just so much going on.
It's not. It doesn't. It doesn't sound as appealing when you're explaining it.
Back to the Future.
Perfect. Marty McFly.
That's hard. To
I
recommend.
got 2 more.
I got one more.
Damn.
It's a game.
Okay.
Damn.
I got a game.
Final Fantasy VI, my favorite game of all time. And I
Yeah,
think
'cause it
the
doesn't
reason why
age well.
Science
the
fiction.
graphics. I think
Yeah.
people are just
Really?
off-putted by the graphics.
I
Look
think
at it.
I agree. I think we're at a point soon where it's gonna make a comeback because of all these new like platforming.
Octopath.
The thing
Well,
is,
the Octopath, the
But
the
I
Shovel
still
Knights,
think the
Mega Man
quality
Collection.
for Octopath is there. Like
I
you
understand
compare
that.
it to 6, and you're like 6 is still shit.
Well, you're playing Mega Man X, and that didn't change
that's-
anything.
I know. Well, they got upgraded. Like it's
Do
a
that
lot.
with that.
I still don't think getting upgraded would still look good.
Okay.
I
The
just
graphics kill it.
I
I
tried.
think.
I just don't think
People still play Chrono Trigger.
has to be a full overhaul.
Dang.
See, but that is just completely different from 6.
Okay. My game is one I recommended you, and you played Nier Automata.
that's
That's a tough sell.
That goes back to the anime thing.
I think so. I think it's like the investment and also the gameplay.
I feel like the
It's-
investment's only involved if
You sacrificed your save.
no, I mean
Because I would say like, okay, you played through it once. I'd be
Right.
like, you didn't get what I would want you to
that's
get.
the thing. Like if I was the reason I played, I would have only played it once.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, the reason I played it multiple times is I wanted to platinum it, especially because it wasn't my copy. I was like, I could just platinum it and then give it back to you. And so it became a tedious thing after that, for me at least.
I understand.
And obviously, but then also playing it once, I would have never grasped the whole story that this
That's
has
where
to.
the hook is. It's
Yeah.
like I want you to understand. Like the reason this is so good is when you get this far in, but to get to there, it's a bit of a
Yeah,
chore.
that game is involved, dude.
I love it, but again,
That
I remember
game's
being in it. I
involved.
was like, okay, some of these, like, I don't want to do this again.
That director is involved.
Yeah.
he's
And-
on something, and I want it.
And the last thing I wanted to say is wrestling.
Ah.
It's because wrestling isn't wrestling.
Dang! I thought you were gonna say something else.
Can't see me.
I definitely anyone who's like I've I'll use Katie as an example. She tends to deal with me just watching it and like background noise. But the more I put it on, the more she asks, like the more we talk about it and stuff, and the more I explain the nuances and the what's going on in the background and what's going on behind the scenes, I think the more interesting it gets. And even if you're just like a casual video, just like that wrestling is a wrestling video, it's like it's comparable when it's at its best. It's comparable to a lot of other things, and that takes some work to get to.
So that's what I like about wrestling isn't wrestling. Like, he follows one thing.
Yeah.
And like obviously expands on it because some of it requires more story to it than to understand it. But it's like, here's one guy. This is why, like, this guy's so good. It just follows.
But
that.
if you're watching it like day to day, you're getting like, I'm not kidding, over 10 hours of content and only this much progress in one person's story. It's like
right.
your investment in a week. Like you have to be like seasoned to know like, okay, watch 1 hour out of that 3 hours of TV tonight. Like the rest doesn't really matter. Like it's fluff.
Which
It sucks.
It's crazy to me because I feel like for someone to be involved in wrestling, they had to have already been involved since not essentially the beginning, but since like there's a point where you had to start, to get to understand these things. So like, how is wrestling so big if like it essentially in my head, there's no way it should be picking up new fans because
Kids,
it's gone so
families, like people
out
like,
of the way.
They're like little kids watching with dad, and they're watching John Cena.
That's
Be
true.
like, John Cena's the hero,
And then they turn into Ferocious, and then they just
and then Coach is like, boo, John Cena sucks.
they go to fucking Mayhem or what is it called?
What is it called?
I don't know. That you went twice, I think,
I
Heel?
went more than twice.
Oh,
or maybe my
Raw?
sister went twice.
Raw, SmackDown,
yeah, real
No
Raw.
Mercy.
No,
I mean, everything.
you need to go to the
what's
Royal
the
Rumble.
huge ones? The pay-per-view ones.
Royal
No
Rumble,
Mercy was one of them.
WrestleMania,
One
Is
day.
that the one? What's the
Uh,
ones where you pay like $1,500 for a seat in front and you get a free chair too?
Royal
Any
Rumble,
other pay-per-views.
Money in the Bank.
One day. And again, something you hit it. It's very much. It reminded me of like very much like another medium which you brought up, comic books.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in college, I was in like a Grant Morrison Batman comic, and it was fucking bonkers. And I was like, tell my friend, like, you need to pick up this. Like, he's fresh into comics. He's reading like the main like Infinity Gauntlet, the Civil Wars, the this and that. And I was like, read this. And he's like, I don't fucking understand anything. Fuck you for recommending this to me. And I was like, hey, you're in comics now, aren't you? He's like, yeah, but could have picked something else to recommend to me. And I was like, no, because now you understand the multiverse, and like this is part of the multiverse, and this isn't, and this is how it's controlled.
That's-
But then it's reset and retconned, and this is canon, and this is not. It's like
on
what's
my
a good
end,
time?
if you're like, read this, my worry is like, where is this in the timeline of all this stuff?
no,
And
that's
it's
how
like,
wrestling. It's like, where's the jump in point?
the problem is like, I don't want a jumping point. I want the beginning.
There's never a
all the
beginning.
that's the thing. So then like, I would
I know.
never really feel fully satisfied.
People
if
are
I
like,
started
what's issue
somewhere.
number 1 of Wonder Woman? It's
And,
like,
like-
which one? There's 18 issue number
They've
ones,
redone it,
and
like,
there's gonna be another one. There was a joke like Squirrel Girl was like a recent one where people were like, oh, I love Squirrel Girl. They had 2 issue number 1s in the same year. They
Yep.
were like, this is a joke. Like
Yep.
they were making fun of themselves for it. But yeah, so
comic
Comics.
books, anime, movies, TV
I
shows.
People
don't think
read
movies are
comics.
hard to recommend.
I
You
realize
it's just like here's
Primer.
the average comic book
movies
reader.
in general. I mean,
the average comic book reader I realize they read comics for the character. They don't read it for the creative team.
Really?
I feel like.
I did that for a while and I felt burned. And I was like, from this point on, as a learned one, I was like,
I mean,
am
if
more
you talk
likely
to the
be-
average comic book shop, you ask them who's your favorite writer, they probably won't even.
Huh. Maybe we should take a poll. Because I'd be 50-50
Well,
on
but
that.
independent people who read independent, obviously creative team, independent comics.
again, an average comic reader, I don't know what that is now because I feel like
Right.
most of them are seasoned because I don't know how many new people are there, and the ones that are new are picking up the classics. They're not. I don't see the new the casual comic reader going in and picking up issue 15 of some random superhero, of Booster Gold or something. I feel like the reason Booster Gold is selling so well or Suicide Squad is selling so well is because Gail Simone's writing, and enough people love Gail Simone, and she's been acclaimed. I don't know, like that. I feel like I'd want to know what that number is because in my mind it'd be 50-50. It could be like 40-60 in one way or the other, but in reality it could be
So
completely off.
here's my perspective, at least on comic books. I don't read them, but I don't know comic book writers very well. I don't know comic book artists very well.
Okay.
So going in a comic book store, what's going to catch my eye is the artwork,
Sure.
first of all. And then after that, that's going to start me picking up that comic book. Then opening it up, I'm going to read the style. And if it's a style I like, I will pick up that comic book.
Okay.
But other
That's a-
than that,
that's
if
a-
like, yeah. So like that's from me. Like, and I hang out with you guys that are
Well, let me ask you
huge
this.
ass fucking comic book nerds, and I don't read comic books.
Not me.
So
Not anymore.
as a comparison to that, you're watching a movie, or
Mhm.
you're going to find a movie
Mhm.
now, like knowing movies and stuff, and you see like something's made by James Cameron or
Mhm.
something's made by Guillermo del Toro, or
Right.
and you're like, I'll give this a shot, like Shape of Water, I'll give it a shot because Guillermo del Toro had a hand in that, and so you're incentivized to try that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like as you know more about movies and you've seen a series of movies, you're like, I'm gonna follow these creators.
Right.
I feel like average moviegoers. If you look at the box office,
Yeah. Like
you watch shitty
Mission
ass
Impossible
movies.
shouldn't be doing as good.
Mission Impossible got good reviews.
Shouldn't be doing as good as it's doing.
It has good reviews.
It
But,
should not be doing
but box office, you see shitty ass movies get fucking a lot of number one. Like, it's like damn.
Money wise, yeah, but I feel like acclaim. There's also like, okay, why is Scorsese getting his umpteenth nomination? Because he's Scorsese,
Hmm.
or because he's Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, I feel if depending on the metric you're following, if you're going by just pure sales, that's one thing. You're right. You go by visuals, Big Bang.
I don't know, like if Quentin Tarantino, now he makes a lot of money, but if he releases a movie, it doesn't make as much as like a fucking summer blockbuster. And the Quentin Tarantino movie is probably way better than the summer blockbuster, like Rampage.
But again,
or
if you're
something.
just going by what makes the most money, if I'm going by like, I want like,
I just
I
don't
want
trust.
to recommend something.
I
to
don't trust
someone.
the average viewer of content when it comes to their choice in content.
Okay.
Comic books, movies.
I think everyone has their initial way, which is like for you, it's like visuals, or for you, it could be the writing, or for another person, it could be an actor or a character. But as you go, I think, in my opinion, people tend towards like, I'm going to know like someone involved in the creative team, whether it's an actor, an illustrator, a writer, or whatever. I think that's what keeps them going in that medium,
Mm-hmm.
like as they go, if they stay in that medium, whatever. So it's I'm definitely like, if we go to a convention, I want to start like asking people like, do you follow characters more or do you follow creators more?
Ask the average comic book reader. Do you know who Grant Morrison is? Guaranteed
No, I know.
75% of people will not know
Yeah.
who
The
he
only
is.
reason I know who he
Okay,
is
how many people go
is
to comic
because
shops?
of you guys.
Like what is like, if you go to a comic shop, it's not like, how many of them are like, I've never read a comic book.
Yeah, but when I used to go, which is 3, 4, 5 years ago, people would just buy I'm gonna buy Spider-Man. Oh, I'm just gonna buy Batman.
There's yeah,
just
I
gonna
agree.
buy-
There's those two.
It's just like,
But again, what's the landscape now? Like, I'm curious.
I think it's the same.
We'll find out.
I mean, we could look
On
at the
next
top,
week on. No, I'm just
we
kidding.
could see the top 10 comic book sales, and
Again, if we're just going by sales,
Mhm. but then sales. That's like the average. If you go by sales, it's that's the metric of people. That is the average. That's the whole population.
you know, you're right, but
But
I'm
you're
tired.
wrong. You're right.
The
but
metrics,
you're wrong.
numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. That's the that's
Damn.
The, that's
I think-
the
I
This
think
is an
that's the
accountant right
That's
here.
the population. That's the population.
I feel like, so I'm a technical guy, and I'm going to agree with him because numbers, technical.
I still think
But
you could skew numbers.
I also have like like there are
You
things
can't
where I'm
you
so
can't
argue
skew
that
sales,
you
though.
could
You
argue that
can't.
Transformers is one of the best movies of all time because
numbers.
it's internationally grand. But people are like, that's a shit movie. Like, so
That's why I don't trust the average content reader.
That's his main point, I guess.
That's why I don't trust the masses.
Maybe
of
maybe
what
I'm
they-
trying to make a point, but I'm trying to make it in a different. Like my point doesn't work in this in what we're how we're comparing. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I get what like
Yeah, it's hard.
success and,
Doesn't
and
equate.
quality
Yeah.
not equal. Got it. I hope the fans got it.
But quality equates to better than average viewers.
Not necessarily.
What?
But
Quality, bro. No, I don't know. All right.
Okay.
then.
Anything else?
We're just not satisfied.
My
at
mind's
least
still like
with this last conversation.
No, I
left
think
it
we
as-
kind of like started a fourth topic, and I kind of
Right.
I like the topic. I'm like, my mind's like, keep going with
but
this topic.
also,
but I'm
like,
no, I think this is.
art is subjective. So if someone likes their
Well, no,
Batman,
I think you have a very valid point in. I'm just very curious. I want to see something that just tells me, like, how many people. If you do a Twitter poll, like if DC or
Mm.
Marvel does a Twitter poll and says like, do you follow like how likely are you to follow Superman or Spider-Man, and how likely are you to follow Brian Michael Ben?
You're friends with Grant Morrison. Have him just put up a poll, dude. Like, on
do you
Twitter.
know who I am?
Oh, I was gonna tell you. Chip.
Zdarsky?
He's writing comics.
He's been writing comics. He
Okay.
wrote
He's writing some new ones.
Spider-Man and Howard the Duck. That's a long time ago.
Okay. Well, I saw like a thing. He's writing some new ones. So I was like, I gotta tell Jay, Chip Zdarsky.
He's writing comic books. He's
Yeah. Okay. Where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Fulio365 on Instagram and the Fulio everywhere else.
At the movie theaters, at the Last Bosses.
In the Stranger Things. You can find me at Kudra Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you think of libraries,
Passion.
comebacks in games, and things that you think are a little different. You've had trouble recommending, whether it be any of the things we mentioned or anything else.
Or recommend something to us.
I recommend this podcast.
Ooh.
That got meta.
Too bad they have to listen to the podcast to be recommended. No.
To get to this point, they have listened to the last like 2 hours.
Especially, yeah.
But it's worth it because it's a hard to I don't know.
Because we'll
DLC.
You later.